What's up, everybody? Lucky Bullet here. Wanted to do a quick little video. Um, we got a lot of info this past week on some games and stuff and some systems coming out, and I thought, hey, you know what? Let me do a quick video real quick. So, Xbox One S or Series S, whatever the hell they're calling it, Series S, $399, all digital. Okay, I'm sure that's for some people. It's not really for me. I'm not terribly interested in it. You got the Series X coming out. That's going to be $499. That's the one I'm going to get. I'm pretty pumped for it. I went ahead and pre-ordered a bunch of games. I got the new Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Call of Duty, the normal stuff that you pretty much buy every year. But I bought went ahead for the digital versions to where I get that the upgrade to the next gen. I seriously doubt it's going to make much of a difference, considering it's been developed already, and maybe a patch to make it look a little prettier. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about is I'm kind of wondering what Sony's going to do. So basically, we're looking at $399 all digital, PS or Series S, and then we're looking at something in my Series S, and then we're looking at a $499 Series X. Really good. I mean, Series X is like the specs on that thing are freaking crazy. And then you've got the PS5 and PS5 all digital. So they came out this morning. They said that they're going to have an event next week on the 16th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be like 4 Eastern Standard Time. My gut tells me that you shouldn't have to have an event to announce a price. So, and when I say that, I mean, I seriously doubt that the PS5 is going to be cheaper than the Series X. I really don't think it will be. I'm looking at it, it's probably going to come in at like 600, maybe 700. I doubt it would be that high. I hope Sony's not that dumb, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come in at 600. And I'm pretty sure that the all digital version of the PS5, because it's basically the same as the normal PS5, just without a disc drive. So I feel like that's going to come in at 500. And so if I'm a consumer, I'm going to look at it like, well, I can get the Series X, which is technically more powerful than the PS5 for 500, or I can get a PS5 all digital and not have a 4K Blu-ray player or anything like that for 500. Why would I want to do that? So I don't know. It's so weird in the gaming industry because they tend to. It's like almost every generation these companies flip-flop back and forth. So think about it like this: PS2 comes out, and you've got what do you got? You got the PS2. Was it the N64 with them? I think it was the N64. No. You had to play Sony, Super Nintendo, and then the N64. So you had the N64 and the regular PlayStation. I think that was tit for tat on that one. Granted, PlayStation sold more, but whatever. So you got the PS2 comes out, and you got the Sega Dreamcast, and you've got the Nintendo GameCube. A lot of people didn't like the GameCube. That crashed and burned. Dreamcast, I love that system, but I think it was too far ahead of its time with the online play and all that stuff, obviously. So anyway, PS2 crushes it. And you got Microsoft came in like, a year or 2 years later with the Xbox, and they did reasonably well. Not bad. Then you get to the next generation, the 7th generation, and you've got, is it 7th generation? Man, these generations are weird. So you get to the next generation, and you've got the PS3, the 360, and the Wii. Now Microsoft gets out in front of everybody. They released the 360, and it's basically a year before anybody else releases anything. And they take a real hard approach. So basically it's like, get as many indie developers, secure as many exclusives, all this stuff as you can, and they do, and they crush. PS3 comes out, and it's like, hey, $600 versus the 360 was $400. And so a lot of people were like, no. Then you get to the next generation, you've got the Xbox One, which was a complete catastrophe from a marketing standpoint. I still, to this day, agree that some of the stuff that they wanted to do was was really good. Like the ability to share with up to 10 family members, 10 people, that would have been amazing. But they didn't deliver that message. The whole 24-hour checks on the internet, that was stupid. You shouldn't. The whole used game thing, and here's something else, a little caveat most people don't know. Sony was right there with them on that used game thing. And if it wouldn't have been so poorly received on Microsoft's end, when it was Sony's turn to announce their stuff, they would have followed right along with it. Because the developers are not going to say, okay, well, we're going to do it this way on one platform, but not this way on the other platform. They're not going to do that. You know, Call of Duty's not going to say, okay, well, we'll let you trade in on PS5, but we're not, or PS4, but we're not going to let you trade in on Xbox One. They're not going to do that. It was all together. But anyway, I digress. I'm going off. So anyway, you know, PS4 comes out and Xbox One comes out. Xbox has had a terrible marketing. They've had to backtrack on a lot of stuff. It's underpowered, so they come out $500. PS4 comes out. They don't even care. They killed them. They just said $400 and you can trade in your games. Boom, done. And you know, PS4 did extremely well. I think, you know, final numbers are basically like it outsold the Xbox like 2-1, which, you know, I have all the systems, so I don't have an allegiance to one or the other. So anyway, we you know, fast forward, you know, Microsoft makes these really good strides. They've got Game Pass and All Access, and they've come out with the Series S, and then they've come out with, or the Xbox One S, and then the digital version, the One X, you know, which I have, and I have a One S and all that. And you can see this tremendous push to try to get better, especially with their subscription services to bundle hundreds of games in. So now we're at this new generation, and you look at the Series S. It's $399. Yeah, it's not as powerful as the PS5 or a Series X. That's not what it's designed for. It's designed to do 1440p gaming at 120 frames a second. I think most of the time you're going to see 1440p gaming at 60 frames a second. But what I want you to remember is $399, and then you get the Game Pass, or you know, that has EA access and all that built in now. You've got hundreds of games constantly for $399, like plus the subscription. You don't have to go buy any games unless you really want the newest games that are out. You can literally play hundreds and hundreds of games. It's insane. And that's where Microsoft's going to make its money at. They're going to sell their consoles at a loss. And with the tech that's packed into that Series X, it costs them about $500 to make that thing. Maybe a little bit more, but they're selling it for $500 because they know they're going to make their money back on the subscription side of things. So the PS5, when you look at that, and then you look at the digital version, they're the exact same console. It's just one doesn't have a disc drive, one does. They also, in case most people are kind of glossing over it, they have less memory. Not memory, but storage. So the Series S or Series X has 1 terabyte. The PS5, both versions have 812 or something. The weird thing is, so the PS5, you can use external storage. You can use external storage on all of them, but it has to be like an SSD for the PS5, and they're not even available for sale yet. So you can't buy them yet. Just a normal plug and play one. Now, Microsoft kind of went a different route, and it's proprietary. It's an SSD, but you have to buy it, and they're like $200 for 1 terabyte of this 4.0 SSD, which is technically, a lot of people are saying, oh, that's expensive. No, it's not. It's, you know, a version 3 of these SSDs, a 1 terabyte is around $100 now. When they first came out, they were, you know, $200, $300, $400 a piece. So you're not, new tech, higher prices. As the tech ages, the prices go down. It's simple as that. So if you don't, you know, you're an early adopter, you're going to pay a premium to be an early adopter. But anyway, I just don't see, I get it. Sony has these tons and tons and tons of exclusives. I get it. You know, the argument I get tired of hearing is how, you know, Microsoft doesn't have any exclusives. They don't have any exclusives. Yeah, they do. It's just, maybe they're not exclusives for you. So, case in point, Sony has tons of exclusives. They have, you know, The Last of Us. They have, well, they haven't done shit with Infamous in a while, or Resistance, but you know, they have Uncharted, and they have the new game Ghost of Tsushima, which is brilliant. Love that game. They have a lot of exclusives, but maybe they're not for you. So every system has its own exclusives, just like Nintendo. You could argue Nintendo, their only exclusives are Mario constantly, but they do really good with them. They do great with them. It's going to be interesting to see how this generation plays out. I for one, am excited. September 22nd, I'm definitely going to have my system pre-ordered, paid for. As soon as the PS5, as soon as their pre-orders go live, I'm gonna go ahead and pre-order that. I think you're going to see next Wednesday they're going to announce the price. I think it's going to be higher. I think they're going to announce pre-order dates. I think they're going to be right around the time of Microsoft's or right after. And the release date is going to be after Microsoft. So think about the PS4 and the Xbox One. PS4 released a week before the Xbox One. They got that jump start. I think it's going to be vice versa this time. You're going to see the Xbox is coming out November 10th. And I think you're going to see November 13th for the PS5. If it's not November 13th, it's going to be the 20th. They're not going to get out ahead. And something else real quick that y'all need to remember, the Sony apparently is struggling really, really hard with production right now. So they've already came out and said that, like, basically their rollout is going to be in stages. They're going to do North America, like US and Canada together on launch day. And then they're going to start releasing to the rest of the world. Seems kind of weird if that is true, if they do that, because Sony, Japan, that's their, if their headquarters, it's their bread and butter. So why wouldn't you release in Japan at the same time? That's one of your biggest markets. But we'll have to see. I don't really know what the strategy is for them. I'm not a market expert. I'm a gamer, just like you guys. So it's going to be interesting to see what technically goes on with these systems. I, for one, am pumped. I'm looking forward to next Wednesday. You'll get a video from me next Wednesday evening after this to see exactly what they say. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Let me know if you like this kind of like little setup. I went and got one of the rings, and for the lighting, I can take it anywhere with me, but I'm sitting here in front of my desktop. So let me see if you can see it. Yeah, so there's my kids. But I got a 32-inch Samsung. It's not a 4K monitor. It's a 1440p. I generally don't game in 4K unless it's on my TV out in the living room. But I do have my 4K Logitech webcam. I do have the AMD Ryzen 7 3800X or whatever, and the new motherboard, and I'm still running a 1080 Ti in this. I may get a 3080. I don't know yet, but don't really need it. But yeah, I mean, it works great. It does what I need it to do. I used to do a lot of editing on this, and try to make my videos flashy and all this dumb stuff. I just rather do it the simple way. This is like the old style YouTube where you just sit here and talk, and you talk to each other, and I like that a lot better. You're probably going to see a lot more like this. Hope that's okay. Leave me your feedback. Let me know. Obviously I still want to do my game stuff, phones and things, computer stuff, my truck, like all that stuff, So it's basically just, back to the basics kind of. I am excited for the iPhone 12. A lot of people never thought they'd hear me say that, but, this is my work phone. The phone I'm recording on is an iPhone as well. It's an iPhone 11 Pro Max. Got to say I like the iPhones now. I kind of got disinterested in Android. I got the S20 Ultra 5G, and I was using it, and I'm looking at my Note 10 Plus, and there was like no difference in them. And I looked at the LG Velvet and the OnePlus 8, and it's just like they're the exact same phones over and over again. And so I started digging into it, and I realized why apps are so poorly optimized on Android versus iPhone. iPhone only has like 3 or 4 phones that come out a year. Android has freaking hundreds of phones. So if you're a developer, you're going to target the iPhone because it's easier to keep your apps more up to date, and then you'll do the Android. So if you ever go on like Instagram, Snapchat, any of that stuff, you can see an amazing difference on how it works, the camera, for the filters, selfies, all that stuff that it does versus on an Android. And I'm getting completely off the subject, but iPhone 12, definitely looking forward to that. I'll be getting that. My daughter switched over, my oldest daughter, Hannah, right here, she switched over to an iPhone, so she has an iPhone XR. My wife, I gave her an iPhone XS Max, and she likes it. She hasn't pulled the SIM out of her Note yet, so just waiting on that. But she does have, her Apple Watch. My daughter has her Apple Watch, and I bought my wife an iPad Mini. I bought my daughter an iPad Pro, and then I have an iPad Pro. My daughter has a MacBook. I have a Mac upstairs. They all just work, so I'm good with that. I still use my Windows, for everything. So don't think I'm just partial to one. I'm not. I don't have an allegiance to anything. It's just whatever works better at the time. But anyway, this video is getting kind of long, so I think today, I think we're gonna go bowling, which is great. It was a rough week at work, so I definitely want to get out and go do some things, kind of relax a little bit. Let me know what you guys are getting into. Let me know how your week went, what you guys are up to. Let me know your thoughts on the PS5, the next Xbox, hell, even the next Switch that's rumored to be coming out at 4K next year, which, if you're gonna do 4K on a freaking handheld, the battery's gonna be terrible, or you better have some really fancy cooling in there, because it's gonna get hot. But we can talk more about that later. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Tell your friends, subscribe if you want. If you don't, it's fine. I'm not here to beg for subscribers. If you don't subscribe to me, find another channel, subscribe to them. It works out great. It just help support people. I will share a little update. We are closing in finally on the YouTube partner program. I guess that I can finally be a partner because of I've got the subscribers. It's just the amount of views. It is what it is. It doesn't matter to me. I have a full-time job. I just do this for fun. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and hit me back. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, here on YouTube, whatever you want to do. I definitely enjoy talking with you guys. I definitely enjoy, going back and forth, and I'll see you guys here in a few days. Appreciate it.